Well, that's not going to work. Is it on the wrong camera? There we go. Computer, make the drum lights magenta.
Okay.
Hello, David. Good morning. You want to learn an English song from me? Well, what kind of music do you like, David? Hello, Elio. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to English Q&A session. Before I forget, you should join my YouTube channel, which I'm doing a live on YouTube right now. Let me find that for you. One moment. If you follow my YouTube channel, you can join, and I'm on YouTube and Hello Talk at the same time, and there's no time limit on YouTube. Whoops. No. So, if you go to here, that is my YouTube channel, and I am right now live on YouTube and Hello Talk at the same time. So, I wonder why the live chat is not available. Taylor Swift. You want a Taylor Swift song? Well, I'm not very familiar with Taylor Swift's music, man. Um, she has a song called "Shake It Off" that's pretty catchy. But I don't know her music very much, so I don't really have any recommendations that I can give. Hello, Ochi. I'm drinking coffee, and you can say, "What are you drinking? What are you drinking?" Am I fine? I'm as fine as anyone can be in this world we live in. David, I don't sing, my friend. I'm not a singer. Why do you think I sing? I'm not a singer. I'm going to eat my Pop-Tart. Welcome to my live stream. Hello, everyone. Pop-Tart is it's an unhealthy breakfast treat. I'm an American. Americans eat unhealthy food. Here's your proof. But it's yummy. Yes, it's sweet. It's like a toasted bread with jelly inside. Or jam inside. Hello, Bisma. I'm fine. How are you? Hello, Kudo. What is my name? It says my name right there on the screen. Teacher Mark Destin. Hello, Alina. Thank you. Did I make this Pop-Tart? No, I didn't make it. Pop-Tarts are there's a company that makes them. I can't remember who makes them. But no, you just buy it and heat it up. The video on Hello Talk is a little slow. That's weird. I am trying your way, Miguel. I am trying your way. So you heard him. Miguel says the video is better on YouTube. So join my YouTube, and you'll get a better, clear video. Okay? And don't forget, turn your phone sideways. Please turn your phone this way. Okay? If you watch my live stream like this, it'll look a little bit weird, I think. Hello, Fatima. Hello, Isla. So, if you have questions, then you should ask them. If you have questions for me, then you should ask them. Hello, Nana. When do I talk about pronunciation? I can talk about pronunciation anytime you want, Isla. What's your question about pronunciation? What would you like to know about pronunciation? What are your problems with pronunciation? You want to talk about the suffix ER and OR and the difference in the pronunciation? Well, Isla, the difference between ER and OR, that depends on which word you're talking about, but most of the time, it's not a significant difference. Okay? There are many times when that OR ER ending sounds pretty much almost the same, partly because it's such a short sound, or that at the end, for example, doctor and teacher. Doctor is spelled OR, teacher is spelled ER, but if you listen to the sound of them, doctor, teacher, the R sound at the end sounds pretty much the same, doesn't it? We don't say doctor, do we? Which is interesting, actually, because technically we probably should pronounce it that way because the Latin word was doctore. But we don't. We pronounce it doctor and teacher. So the ER and the OR are almost the same. All right, let's see. The YouTube channel, if my YouTube channel is right here, or you can search for AFIEC. AFIEC means a friend in every corner. A friend in every corner. If you search for AFIEC on YouTube, you should find me. And how should I deal with new vocabulary? Well, that depends on the vocabulary that you're learning. One, you should learn vocabulary in some kind of a system. If you don't have a way of relating the words together, then you're doing something wrong. There are too many English words. You can't just learn random words. You have to have some kind of a pattern or system to what you learn. That's the most important part about English words. There are 1 million English words. 1 million. That's a lot. How many meanings does pick up have? Pick up has a couple of meanings. One, let's see. Pick up my phone. To pick up something off the floor is it fell on the ground, so you pick it up. Right? To pick something up, right? Pick up your paper, pick up your pencil, pick up your sunglasses, whatever. That's the meaning of to pick up. But you could also pick up your brother from work, pick up your sister from school. That means to drive somewhere and take, your brother or sister as a passenger in your car, right? To pick them up into your car is basically what that means. Okay? Or there's a slang meaning. Pick up means to try to find a person that you like at a bar or club or some social engagement, right? So if you pick up a guy or pick up a girl, that means that you found somebody you liked at a bar and you went to go talk with them somewhere or something, okay? To pick up someone. How can you better your pronunciation overall, Fatima? Well, follow my live streams, one. And two, English is mostly about the vowel sounds, okay? And connecting the vowel sounds to the various consonants in various ways. So, focus on your English vowels, number one. Number two, make those vowels bigger. The bigger you can make your English vowels, the more clear your English will be. The smaller your English vowels are, the more likely your English won't be very clear. Okay? IELTS pronunciation, please. We pronounce that test the IELTS test, if that's what you mean. Can you skip the sound of R? No. Of course you can't skip the sound of R. Why would you skip it? Why would you skip the sound of R? You can't skip the sound of R. If you skip the sound of R, then my name is not Mark, my name is Mock. My name is not Mock, my name is Mark. So no, you cannot skip the sound of R. But you can learn it. It's not that hard. It just takes a little bit of time. Okay? Olga, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati, Ohio. Can you tell me what to do if I suddenly don't know what word to use when I'm speaking with others? Sure. One, relax. Okay? That's called performance anxiety, essentially. Okay? It's the same thing of any performer. Sometimes you get nervous. When you get nervous, you freeze. So, first thing that I would suggest to you is relax. Okay? Second thing that I would suggest to you is you don't have to translate what you're trying to say into English. Don't translate. Why? Because you don't have the ability to translate yet. Translate means directly use one language into another. That's translation. You don't have the ability to translate yet. So don't translate. Instead, sketch. What does sketch mean? So what I mean is this. Translation means a perfect drawing. So you have this ability of language in your native language, and you have this ability of language in English. You cannot make those things connect. So this is a perfect drawing of your language, but you can't make a perfect drawing of English. So don't try. Instead, make a sketch. I can't draw a perfect elephant, but I can draw something on a piece of paper that you will see and say, oh, that's an elephant. That's how you have to look at language. Don't think about trying to say exactly what you want to say. Instead, just describe what you want to say. Talk about what you want to say. Okay? Jerry, yes, I know you can't use YouTube in China, but I'm on Hello Talk, and Hello Talk is in China, so I don't make the rules for China. So I can't help you with that. All I know is that I am on live on YouTube now. That's all I can tell you. And if you're clever, then maybe you can figure out how you can watch it. That's all I will say. There are many clever people in China. Some of them are watching me on YouTube. What is the difference between the book made me laugh and the book had me laughing? Nothing. No, I would say those meanings are the same. Do I know how to play in 7/4? Sure. I like Odd Times Moritz. Vinny Colaiuta is one of my favorite drummers. He's a master of 7. He's a master of any time signature. But I am familiar with all time signatures, my friend. I'll play something in 2116 for you if you want. Remember to press F11 for full screen. Ah, I did not remember that. Ah, thank you for that, Miguel. Can you drop the T sound in the IELTS? No. That would be the IELTS. It's not the IELTS. It's the IELTS. TS. Yes, Elvis. I am Mark. You're translating what I say? Okay. But if you need to speak to someone else, sometimes you might not know how to translate something directly. And if you don't, then you should not try to. Don't try to, just describe it instead. Moritz. No, it's not on my YouTube channel. I don't know if I have anything in Odd Times on my YouTube channel. Let me think. There's got to be something. I mean, there are some different time signatures. I'm sure there's some 6 and some 4. And, I can't remember if I have any tunes on there that are in Odd Times. But, no, probably not. I'm more of a pocket guy. But I like to play some Odd Times every once in a while. I take it you're a musician, Moritz. The light is too bright. Well. Oh well. The only light I have on is this. Is that better? Now I have no lights on. What am I eating? I'm eating something called a Pop-Tart. It's an unhealthy American treat. Don't forget to join my YouTube channel. If you join my YouTube channel, there is no time limit. Join my YouTube channel. Right here. Go to my YouTube channel and there's no time limit. And if you see my YouTube channel, you will see everything from Hello Talk. Now, okay? What's the difference between patience and perseverance? Patience, they are similar, Mia. Patience and perseverance. Perseverance implies, in my opinion, going through some kind of a difficult situation. To persevere means to get through something that's very difficult or stressful or trying, some kind of a difficult situation, okay? Patience is a bit more broad. patience is just a general feeling that you are willing to listen to someone else and you are willing to take the time to properly think about, consider, and listen to another person and talk with them. That's being patient. Okay, to be patient is well, not necessarily talking, but is to do something without a sense that you must go faster. Okay, basically, patience is telling everybody, take your time. It's okay. We're gonna get through it. Okay, to be patient means to not get upset easily, to listen well, to consider your answers before you speak, and to listen more than speak, in my opinion. Those are the qualities of patience. But perseverance is more about getting through a difficult time. To persevere. Okay? I like to look at the word severe that's in there. Persevere. Severe means very, very serious, very intense or serious, difficult situation. So to persevere means to get through that difficult situation. Okay? But Moritz, if you do go to my YouTube channel, I play a lot of jazz and funk and blues and Latin, and there's at least one or two New Orleans tunes on there, and funk and pop, and I try to play a lot of different styles of music. Not that anyone cares. Nobody seems to really care about the music things that I do, but that's okay. Hello, Jacob. Yeah, that was not a very good description of being patient. Patient basically means listen and don't be rushed. Patient is the opposite of rushed. Okay, to rush someone and put pressure on someone, that's the opposite of being patient. Okay? Okay, would someone like to come on my stage? Who would like to come on my stage? Raise your hand if you want to come on my stage. Ah, Moritz, my musician friend. Hello, Moritz, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great. First time on stage speaking English.
Oh wow! Well,
On Hello Talk,
congratulations.
yeah.
Yes, and Guten Tag. You're in what city in Germany?
It's close to Hamburg,
Close to Hamburg.
where
Okay,
I live.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like to tell the
The-
story about hamburgers and where the name Hamburg comes from. And
Well,
then,
once there was a president from the United States in Hamburg.
oh
He
really?
said it was Kennedy. He said, "I'm a hamburger." No, that's a joke. He was in Berlin. Yeah.
That's funny. I've never heard that one. So, Moritz, are you a musician?
Yes, I am.
All right, what do you play?
A bit of everything.
What instrument is
I'm
your
on
main
YouTube
instrument?
too. Main instrument, the bass, probably.
Bass. Oh, okay. Well, then,
I do.
then I'll tell you my only claim to fame. My only claim to fame, the only real famous person I've ever worked with, who you probably will know, Bootsy Collins.
Oh, really? Bootsy Collins? You're
Yeah,
kidding?
he lives not too far from me.
Whoa!
And he
One
buys
of the greatest.
he
Yeah.
used to buy all of his equipment from the music store I taught drums in. So, he didn't come in very often, but every once in a while we'd get a fax in that would say he's coming in to pick up a bunch of gear. And, so I got to meet him through that. And then it's a funny story, man. He came in to meet, to get some stuff. And I asked the guys at the store, I was like, hey, I know he's coming in. Do you mind if I just say hi? Like, I don't want to be, annoying, but, I just want to introduce myself or whatever. And they were like, yeah, it's cool. He's usually really cool with it and whatever. And he comes in his Lincoln Navigator with gold rims and black, windows and whatever. And he's got the star sunglasses on and everything. I mean, he's in full gear all the time. Most of the time he's in full gear. And, we met. He's really nice, really, really, really cool. He wanted to go back to my drum room.
I need some time to. Well, that's wow. That's just wow.
Oh,
it
gets better. It gets better. So he comes back to my drum room and wants to hear me play a little bit, which I was totally nervous about.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out, right? And I'm trying to play.
Yeah.
Then he said something to me, and I thought he was just being nice to me, just being cool. And he was like, "Yeah, man. So I'm gonna be going to. I gotta go out of town and play Woodstock for a little bit. But when I get back, I'm gonna give you a call, and I want you to come over and lay down some tracks for me." And I thought for sure he was just, saying that just to be nice and that I'll never hear from him again. But sure enough, like 2 or 3 weeks later, I got a phone call and with a message that said, "Hey, Mark, it's Bootsy and I'm back from Woodstock. Was wanting to know if you could have some time to come over and lay down." It was really hilarious. So sure enough, I drive out there. He lives in a log cabin in the woods. Bootsy Collins lives in a log cabin in the woods. A big, huge log cabin in the woods. And when you go into his house, above the door is a big wooden sign that says William Collins Sr., which is his real name. And when you go into the house, there's a big fireplace, huge, huge hearth fireplace. And in front of the fireplace are 6 of his famous star basses, like all just like lined up in front of the fireplace. And there's gold records on the walls everywhere. And, and his studio's in the basement of his house. And when you go down to the basement of his house around the side, you open the door and you walk in and there's a giant inflatable Godzilla. Because his name is Bootzilla. They call him Bootzilla. And and above the studio,
what a nickname.
Above the studio, it says Bootsy's Rehab. So yeah, it was fun.
And,
I got to do just a couple little tracks with him.
Channel.
Yeah.
On your YouTube channel, so what I can expect is that you play funk music, or?
Man, I have a little bit of everything posted on there. Yeah, I kind of an all-around guy. Like, I won't say I do everything, but I do a lot of different stuff. So there's some jazz on there, and there's some funk and pop and rock and blues and Latin and a little New Orleans. There's, I try to do a little bit of everything. Steve Gadd's my favorite drummer, man. So I try to play a little bit of every kind of style. Yeah.
In which band does he play?
Steve Gadd?
Steve Gadd.
Oh, he played with everybody. That's why I mentioned him, because he was Paul Simon's drummer for like 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. That song, that's Steve Gadd. But he also played with Joe Cocker and Eric Clapton and what's the name of that song? He's been on, I think, like 30,000 records or some crazy number. It's really crazy how many. It's every style of music. You could probably name a musician, and there's a really good chance he's played with them, because he's played with everyone.
Neil Young.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sure. Absolutely.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Steve Gadd with Neil Young? Sure. Let me see. I'm certain. Absolutely. Let me see. Gadd, Neil Young. Let's see. There must be someone in there. There's the Steve Gadd. Oh, there we go. Bobby Gray performs Neil Young's Harvest Moon. Oh, no, that's them. Oh, that's interesting. It's the Steve Gadd band. They do a Neil Young tune.
Ah, okay.
That's interesting. Nice. Yeah. Well, you should, if you don't know Steve Gadd, you should check him out. anything with him on it is going to be amazing.
Get with
G
D
A
at the
D
end
D
or
G A D D.
GADD. I
Gad.
write that down. I'll check
Yeah.
it later.
I mean, he worked with.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm sorry, we're talking about music, everybody. We're in music land now. They expect me to teach English all the time, but I never get to talk about music with anybody. So I'm excited to talk about music. Steely Dan, Asia. Do you know that song?
I know Steely Dan,
Yeah,
but
well, one of their
not.
most famous songs is called Asia, and in the middle of it, there's a drum solo that's really famous. That's Steve Gadd on there, and he did that
Hey,
song in one take.
What's the meaning of Steely Dan? Oh, no,
I
no, no, no,
I know
no.
that one.
Forget it. Okay.
I know that
But
one,
great.
my friend.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, let's see. Let's see. Gadd played with. Oh man, it's too many to list. I'm going to send you a link for his discography because it's so long that I'll have to scroll forever to show you. But send me a message, Maurice. Send me a private message so that I can send you some links.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And you play now? You still play music now?
Yes, I'm on YouTube too. And what I do is I have a girlfriend who plays flute.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
she's writing down melodies and I do the comping somehow, but I play guitar solos and stuff like that.
Well, that's
The only
interesting.
thing I do not do is playing drums.
Ah, all right.
Do you know Hydrogen?
Sure.
It's that program.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
the
that.
program. Yeah, yeah. You just use that as a backup.
Hydrogen is my drama.
Yeah.
So the question, do you know how to handle 7/4 bars, wasn't too far away from truth. I'm really looking for ways to do my drum stuff on that program, and
Okay. But it doesn't do odd times? Uh-oh. Oh, we lost Moritz. Ah, the time limit. Moritz. Ah, see, now this is why I hate the time limit. Moritz, I hope you can message me, Moritz. If you're still there, Moritz, join me on YouTube. Go to my YouTube, Moritz. Ah, well, I can't find him here, everybody. But if somebody can contact Moritz and tell him to go to my YouTube, then he can come back on my YouTube. Yeah, this time limit is really, really no good. See, that's what I'm telling you about, everybody. You got to join my YouTube. Come to my YouTube channel right now. There's no time limit. Come to my YouTube channel. That was really obnoxious. We were talking and having a great conversation, and I was going to play some drums for Moritz, but now he's gone. Ah! Hello, Talk, you're really pissing me off. Well, oh well. I'm sorry about that, Moritz. Let's see, is there any way for me to contact him here? No, there's not. That sucks. Somebody do me a favor and send Moritz a message and tell him I'm sorry we got cut off, but to please follow me and to message me on Hello Talk. All right, well, I guess we're back to talking about English now. Moritz, yeah, if you want to do odd time stuff, yeah, I do odd time stuff. Maybe you can send me your music and I can play the drums for you here and send it back to you. All right. Hello, my Algerian friend with a Korean name. You want to sing to me? You want to sing to me about what? Singing is great, everyone, but I really am here to answer questions. I'm just waiting for people to ask them. I am a teacher. Hello. This is a teacher. Teacher. Right here. Teacher. So you should ask me questions. That's why I'm here. No. Go back. Sorry, everybody. One moment. I didn't want this. Sorry. I wanted this. Paste. All right. Let's see. All right. So everybody, I see my Chinese friend here wants me to sing some songs, and my Algerian friend wants me to sing some songs, but people, I'm sorry, but no, I want to teach. I'm sorry, but I would like to teach. Can we teach? I'm a teacher. I don't want to waste my time. No offense, but I have things to do. So I would like to help people with their English. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to play games. Okay? I want to help people. Nana wants to know about groceries. Nana, what do you want to know about groceries? You want to know some grocery vocabulary? What do you want to know about groceries? Hello, Johnny O. Greetings from Captain Joe. All right. You asked me to speak advanced English for a few minutes. Yes, I vaguely remember you. But when I started doing it, you were kicked out of Hello. All right, well, Brunley, that happens sometimes. So like I said, Brunley, that's why you should follow my YouTube channel. If you join my YouTube channel, you can follow me without any time limit. Okay? So, my YouTube channel's right here. Follow my YouTube channel, and then you won't get kicked out. You should be able to comment there. There's comments on YouTube also. Live comments. There should be. Yeah, I've got comments here. Yeah. Oh, there's Maritz. Maritz is back. I'm glad you're back, Maritz. Thank you. Yeah, there are comments there. Yeah, live comments, Brunley. I'm looking at the live comments from YouTube right now. I have live comments in both. So you can do live comments in YouTube right now on YouTube. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, the only thing that you can't do yet is invite somebody on the stage on YouTube, but I'm working on that. There are ways to do that, and I will be able to do that soon. Okay? What ethnic group do I belong to? The ethnic group I belong to is the human ethnic group. We are all ethnically human. Homo erectus. Let's see. Oh, let me go back to full screen here. Almost forgot. Okay, on YouTube, I was missing some comments. I'm sorry about that. Hello, Pierre. Pierre says, teacher, my accent in English is similar to my native. How can I speak English the way native speakers pronounce the words? Pierre, it doesn't matter what your words sound like. What accent you have doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is if your accent is clear. So, it's nice if you want to have a goal to sound like me. If you want to have that goal eventually to sound like me, okay, that's nice. But to do that is going to take you about 10 years. Okay? But if you want to just sound clear and understandable with English, then you can do that in 1 year. Okay? So don't try to speak exactly like me. Just try to speak English that everyone can understand. Okay? Rapid, I always drink iced coffee during my live streams. Anthropology. You mean the song? Or are you talking about Homo erectus and what I was talking about there? Pithecanthropus erectus. There's a great song. Do you guys know that song? That's a great song. I'm sorry we got cut off there, Moritz. You were talking to me about 7/4, and I guess maybe you have a song in 7. Is that right? Hello, Tomas. What is this new rules about live streams? You must invent something. What do you mean invent something? What's the difference between esoteric and secret? Esoteric means something kind of uncommon and rare and maybe not so maybe a little bit like specially rare and weird. But secret is just secret. Secret is something that only a few people know about. Esoteric is more, what's another good word for that? Oh, yeah, like mystical. Mystical. Esoteric is more like arcane or mystical, like deep, really. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Kabir. I don't remember what it was you were talking. I have no idea what you mean about Joe Rogan. I don't remember removing anybody, but let's just put it this way. I don't think Joe Rogan is so great. I think he's overrated. That's all. You must invent something. I'm not sure what you mean, Tomas. And what is this now? Will that work? All right. You like Waka Waka song? I don't know that song. Hello, Karim. Yeah, esoteric is kind of more like, yeah, a deep secret meaning. But secret is just secret. Secret is more broad. Okay? Root word, what? I have no idea what that is. Is that. That looks like Armenian. Is that Armenian? Soko combo? Oh, no, that's Moritz. Is that. What is that? Is that. Is that Greek or Armenian? What is that, Moritz? Could I give some synonyms that describe extreme happiness? Sure. Yeah. Elated would be the first one that comes to mind. To be elated is to be extremely happy. So if you look up the word elated, then let's see, delighted, ecstatic is another good one. Ecstatic, euphoric, maybe euphoric is almost more like a drug has taken over you. Jubilant, it's not a bad one for extremely happy. Exhilarated could be used. Blissful, maybe. There are a bunch of them here. I'm just giving you the ones I think are probably the best ones that I would choose. Ah, that's ancient Greek. That's why it looks a little bit like Armenian, too. Gotcha. I know a little Latin, but I don't know that much Greek. Oh, Waka Waka is from Shakira. Oh, well, that's funny. I don't know that song. But I almost got to perform with Shakira. Almost. A long time ago. In another lifetime. The new rules avoid most of people to attend live streams. It's not a good policy for anyone. Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the new rules. Yeah, it used to be that I had hundreds of people on my live streams. Now I only have 37. Hello Talk's rules have literally killed the live streams. I'm going to talk to them about that later today. Because my numbers are way down. And it's not me. People have given up. Does euphoric come from euphoria? Yes. Yeah. They're the same meaning. They're just a variation on the word. Is connected speech better for fast understanding in English? I'm not sure what you mean. Better for who? Better for you? Better for other people understanding you? Better for your listening of other people who are speaking connected speech, quickly? DK, here's what I'll tell you, DK. I don't think it's a good idea to think about the speed of language like there is one. There is no speed in language, just like there is no speed in music. Is slow music the only good music? No. Is fast music the only good music? No. Fast music is fast music and slow music is slow music. They're different musics, they have different expressive feeling. So language is the same thing. There are times when your speech can be connected and fast, and that's appropriate. But there are also times when, if your words are less connected, that's appropriate too. Rhythm is a very important part of language. But there is no predictable rhythm to language. Hello, YOLO. Hello, TM75. Once again, please join my YouTube, because then again, there is no time limit on my YouTube. So if you join my YouTube, then you won't get kicked off. To understand English poems and lectures, should I study Greek mythology? Wow, that's kind of an interesting question, Brunley. No, I don't think you need to study Greek mythology to understand English poems in general. No, not all English poems have any relationship to Greek history or mythology. Greek mythology is limited. There are many things that are affected in English that have to do with Greek mythology. For example, the months, right? The month of January is named after the Greek god Janus, or it's the Roman god Janus? I can't remember. One of the two. Janus might be the Roman name. I can't remember this. Almost every Greek god has a Roman name, right? They have the same thing, but in another name. So Janus was the first month. February is after Februa, which was a purification ritual month. It's celebrated, Februa, I think it was called. And then March celebrates Mars, the Roman god Mars, right? So I would say that there are some ties to Greek mythology occasionally, but not that often. It's more Roman, actually. But 60% of English words come from Roman, or I should say, come from Latin or Greek. 60% of English words come from Latin or Greek. So if you know a little Latin or Greek, it's very useful. Very, very useful. Hello, Bright. Pierre says, I prefer YouTube more than Hello Talk. Well, good. Then stay here on YouTube. Every time I do my streams on Hello Talk, I'm also on YouTube at the same time. So you can just jump over and join me on YouTube. Okay? TM75. Oh, Tomas, that's you, isn't it? Tomas, is that you? That's right. February, that's where we get the word febrile. Febrile means fever, right? Fever-based or fever-like. And so, right, the word February is actually related to the word fever. And then, and then it gets interesting after that. So then Mars is March, right? And then April is named after the Latin word, was it Aprire or apriere? I can't remember how to pronounce it, but it means to open. The Latin word means to open. And why? Because April is spring, and that's when everything opens, right? In the spring. So, and then after April, May is named after Maya, and then June, named after Juno, the Roman god Juno. And then it gets interesting. July and August did not used to exist. There was no July and August. There used to be only 10 months in the Roman calendar. So it used to just go straight to September, October, November, December. Why? Because September means 7, October means 8, December means, or November means 9, and December means 10. So 7, 8, 9, 10. September, October, November, December. But Julius Caesar thought, hey, I'm a pretty great guy. I think I deserve a month. So July is named after Julius Caesar, and August is named after Augustus Caesar. So those are where the names of the months come from, mostly from Roman history. Can I explain the words debunk, kunk, and spasm? To debunk something, it's kind of funny. It means to prove something is not true. Okay, to prove something is not true is to debunk it, right? So if somebody says, well, I think blah, 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 and you say, I don't know, that doesn't seem very right to me. And then you go and you study and you find out the information and you come back and you tell them, no, look, I found out that this is not true. I debunked it. Okay, so if you study something and find out that there's something not true, then that is to debunk something. Okay? Then, cunk. I don't know that word. I don't know if, is that a word? Not a word. Nope. C-U-N-K is not a word. And spasm. A spasm is an involuntary muscle movement. Involuntary muscle movement. So if maybe your finger goes like this, just like maybe your muscle is twitching, like in your arm. You just see your muscle moving like this, but you didn't do it. This wasn't you. That's called a spasm. Okay? The word, that's a fun word. Let's look at that word. Spasm. Sudden violent muscular contraction comes from the Latin word spasmus, from the Greek word spasmos, meaning a convulsion, a wincing, a violent movement. Well, that's interesting. It actually comes from the word that means to draw your sword. To draw your sword, which in my mind, when you draw your sword, that happens quickly. You have to do it quickly, like you're ready. It has to be almost like a spasm, right? When you're ready to fight, you pull your sword as quickly as you can. So the word spasm actually comes from a meaning to pull your sword. So it's actually very interesting. Kind of means a quick movement because of pulling your sword was a quick movement. To dismantle. Yeah. Actually, let's look at that word too. I want to look at the etymology of debunk. Debunk. D meaning not and bunk. Bunk is a word that means nonsense. So it's kind of interesting. One moment, let me read. Wow, that's interesting. So, bunk. Bunk is a word that meant nonsense. If you say that's bunk, it means that's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. Okay? So to debunk something meant to take the nonsense out. To take the nonsense out. And how do you do that? You do that by, studying something until you find the real information. Yeah. So that's funny. Debunk. Ostentatious. Ostentatious, DK. Ostentatious is the pronunciation. Ostentatious. Okay, let's see. Did I miss any comments here? If I already know Obama's 44th president, but I want to ask, how can I ask? Yeah, you could say, which number of president was Barack Obama? However, the truth is, no Americans really think about that. No Americans really ever thought about that until, well, until Barack and Trump, really. Before Barack and Trump, I really never was, I had no idea which number they were, and most Americans didn't think about that. We don't really think about which number it is. You know, 44th, 5th, 45th, that's kind of a stupid thing to think about. But if you want to ask about it, I would just say, which successive number did Barack Obama's presidency happen in? Which was it, the 44th, the 45th? Yeah, that would probably be the most correct way to ask it, I think. Blah, blah, blah means blah, blah, blah. It means nothing. Blah is a word that means nothing. So when we say blah, 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 it means that's all nothing, that means nothing. How do you mute? I don't know. Why do you want to mute me? Well, yeah, but Brinley, why do you want to ask about which number president that, that's such a weird thing to ask. What's the point of asking that question? I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to ask you. Historical context? Okay. Yeah, but if you're asking Americans, Brunley, I'll be the first one to tell you that a lot of Americans don't have a good historical context. I'll just tell you that. There are a lot of Americans who could probably use a brushing up on history. They have a lot of revisionist history, we call it. What's the meaning of nah? Nah means no. Nah is a slang way of saying no. Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. How to express the question in English from a history professor. Okay, all right, let's do this. Let me find out for you a better way. Do you want me to give you a very simple way to ask it, or do you want to give you a very proper way to ask it? Okay, simple way to ask it would be what president was, what was the number of President Obama? What was the number of President Trump? What was the number of President Kennedy? That would be the simplest way. But it's a kind of a weird way to ask it. Even I look at that question and I think that's weird. What was the number of? I know what they mean, but it's a strange question to ask. So the way I think it would be best asked properly would be which successive number of presidency did Barack Obama's term happen or terms happen under? That would be the most correct way. I think. Hello, Julia. By the way, don't forget to join my YouTube channel where there is no time limit on my YouTube channel. Join my YouTube channel. There's no time limit. Okay, Eduarda, why does it seem like I speak so fast? I don't know. Eduarda, many people say I actually speak pretty slowly. but keep trying, Eduarda. Blah, blah, blah is used when you're telling something that someone told you and you tell the beginning. So blah, blah, blah can be used for a few different things. Okay? If I say, he said blah, blah, blah. Now I'm putting in the words blah, blah, blah to put, to give you an example of a blank space. So, for example, if we're practicing filling in the blank on a sentence, I could say, the postman was bitten by the blah, blah, blah. What's the word I'm looking for, everyone? The postman was bitten by the... The postman was bitten by the... Do mailmen get bitten by snakes usually? Dog. 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 The postman was bitten by the dog, everyone. Snake. I don't know where you guys live, but I don't have snakes in my post office. So, the point is that the word blah, blah, blah sometimes is used like a blank space in a word, right? Or it's also used sometimes when, if you want to say, oh, I don't know, she just said blah, 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 blah. I don't know what you're saying, you know, all you're saying is blah, blah, blah. It just means nothing. It means like nothing that makes sense or nothing of any importance or nothing of any interest. Okay? It's grammatically correct to ask the number, which number. It is grammatically correct, yeah. It's just awkwardly grammatically correct. Yeah. Maybe let try it this way. Hold on. Here's another way. Which number of presidency was Barack Obama's? That's probably another slightly simplified way to ask it that might make a little bit more sense than which number was he. At least now you define it as presidency. Right? Don't forget to join my YouTube channel. There's no time limit on my YouTube channel. Yeah, you're right. Okay, you're right. There are some places in the world where the postman might be bitten by a snake. Australia, Brazil. That's true. You're right. Mike, what do you want to know about the slang word shoot? You're welcome, Brunley. Can I explain inversion? Yeah, it's not quite as complicated as most people like to say or like to make it out to be. Subject verb inversion. Excuse me. So I could say, her two cats, Penny and Percival, were on the windowsill. Or I could say, on the windowsill were her two cats, Penny and Percival. Okay? Let me give you some other examples. There are 5 different ways, I guess, you can do it. Let's see. So inversions in questions, those are obvious, right? Is he going to the club? Did he go to the club? Where is the club? Those are, questions themselves are basically inversions of answers, right? So the most the ones that people usually have trouble with are the ones that I tried to the first one that I tried to describe, more like advanced ones, right? So not only do I enjoy classical music, but I also have a season ticket to the symphony, right? I could say I have season tickets to the symphony because I really enjoy classical music. Or not only do I have tickets to the symphony, but I also have, right, right? Do you see what I did? You just flipped them around. Okay, that's all it is. And English is that way. English is always that way. You can flip things around, Do you want to go to the store on Tuesday? Or on Tuesday, do you want to go to the store? Right? Here's a great article about it. Let me send this to you. Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry. One moment. I always forget. I need to do a second step. Here is a great article for you about that. No. Stop doing that. Copy. Paste. This article is great for inversions. Okay? Read that article. It should help you. My YouTube channel, if you search for AFIEC, you'll find it. You are welcome, Brunley. Let me put this back into full screen. Cricket commentary and news is spoken in present tense. What's the reason behind it? Well, commentary is in present tense because they're doing it at the time. He's rolling the ball. He's doing this. You're narrating. That's why. DK. Commentary is narration. Okay? More than it is commentary. Commentary sometimes sounds like what happens after something happens, but narration is what's happening, just talking about it while it's happening, right? So cricket, they narrate it, right? Baseball, he's stepping up to the plate. He's, winding up for the pitch. He's blah, blah, blah. They're talking about it at the time, right? Golf, too, He's on the 9th green. He's got his putter. It's a 30-foot, whatever. They talk in present tense because they're narrating what's happening. Don't forget to join my YouTube. Don't forget to join my YouTube. Don't forget to join my YouTube. I'm on YouTube Live right now, and there is no time limit on YouTube. So if you join my YouTube, you won't be removed. You won't be kicked off. Okay? It's right here. Let's see. How is the sentence correct? It's time we went home. The verb is in the past. But it indicates the present tense. Yes, because... Let me think about that for just a moment. That is a little interesting. Because when they say it's time we went home, they're saying it's time that we should go home, right? So in this case, the we went, it's time we went, it implies the word should, right? But it's not in the sentence. They don't actually say it, right? So now is the time when we should go home, is what that sentence means. But it's a very abbreviated form of the sentence where they're, kind of taking out a lot of the words, so it kind of makes it a bit awkward in a way. Now's the time when we go home. Or it's time we went home. Yeah, that is a little complicated. Let me think about that a little bit longer. There's a reason behind that, but I'm trying to sort it out in my head. Oh, yeah, it's funny. There are quite a few people here who don't really understand how to explain that grammar. That might be more of a colloquial dialectical thing that happened over time, right? So, Brunley, I'll look into it more after the live stream to make sure, and I'll send you a message. If you send me a private message, then I can message you back. But I'm pretty sure that just might be something that kind of happened over time through common language. But common language doesn't always follow grammar rules. Common language is common language, right? So, for example, the word ain't. Ain't is not a proper word. But are you going to hear it in English every once in a while? Yes, you will. Okay? One of my favorite songs from Chaka Khan is called Ain't Nobody. Am I going to correct her and say it should be isn't or aren't? No, I'm not, because it's common language. So common language doesn't always follow the rules. And in this case, it's time we went home. I have a feeling that might be something that's technically incorrect, but has been said for so long grammatically that people understood it and just accepted it. That's common language. Okay? Yeah, it's time we fed the dogs. To me, Brunley, when you say the past tense, it's because it's implying that you're late for that thing. Like that thing should have already happened. So because it should have already happened, in your mind, it's past. That means fed. We should have fed. So in your mind, you feel that you should have done it. So you're telling somebody it's time we fed the dogs. But you're right, it is grammatically a little awkward because it really does imply it's time now that we should do this thing now. Yeah. And Brunley, no, I don't mind that question. It's all right. That's a good question to ask about because it is awkward. So the phrase "it's time" is like slang that you got to use the past verb. I think I would just try to say that every time you hear the word "it's time" in that way, when used in that way, you should think of the words "we should" being implied. Okay, it's time we should blah, blah, blah. Okay? It's time we feed the dog. No, that's not incorrect. It's time we feed the dog. It would be now is time to feed the dog. Okay. It's time to feed the dog. It's time we feed the dog. Yeah. But again, it's implying a should, right? There we go. U.S. Marine is stepping in to help me. Thank you, U.S. Marine. It's implying hypothetical future events. Right. But it's implying hypothetical future events that you feel like, oh, we should have already done this, right? So that's why you say it in the past tense, because in your mind, it should have already happened. Hypothetically, it didn't, but it should have. So you use past tense to describe it. Would you concur with that, U.S. Marine? Yeah, the structure is confusing. You're right. The structure is confusing. I agree. But, Brunley, don't get caught up in the minutia of language. Do you know that word? Minutia? That's a great word. Minutia means the small, unimportant things. There are certain things in language that you should just say, all right, fine, just accept it. Because to be honest with you, language is a form of expression, right? Language is a form of expression, and all forms of expression should be felt more than analyzed. Just like music. That's why we have a great quote about jazz music. I love this quote. Talking about jazz is like dancing about architecture. Talking about jazz is like dancing about architecture. At some point in time, you don't talk about it, you just listen to it and accept it. And this kind of language, yeah, you could get into the grammar details of it to analyze it and figure out why they do that. But what would you gain from that? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Probably not. Yeah, the time for doing something has arrived. Yeah. But like I said, if the time for doing something has arrived, then that means present tense. But when you use past tense after, that means you feel you should have already done it. In your mind, you feel like you're late in some way. So that's why I feel the past tense is what you would imply, because it makes you feel like we should have already done this. It's time we went home. It's time we go home. You chose the second one and you failed. Yeah, but see, that's why, Brunley, you didn't fail anything. That's a stupid test. Because the truth is, no human being that knows the English language would be confused by either of those sentences. If you said it's time we went home or it's time we go home, nobody in America is going to look at you like this. Huh? What? I don't understand what you mean. Do you mean now or tomorrow? Nobody is going to be confused by that. So those are the kinds of questions that make me just look at you and say, no, just no. You're not talking about language anymore. You're talking about perfection. Language is about communication and expression. And guess what? That sentence doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There are no situations in life where I can imagine that sentence mattering. Like, where, oh no, if I don't understand it, my entire life is going to fall apart. No. Yeah. Yeah, and I do know that. They do use those in exams, but that's the reason why I'm not an exam teacher. I'm not, and I don't want to be. I have no desire to be. Why? Quite frankly, because all of the language exams are testing for perfection and not for proficiency. They're testing for perfection and not proficiency. They really are. And I can say safely that if most Americans took an IELTS test or a TOEFL test, most Americans would not do very well. Why is that true? Because guess what, people? When you learn a language, you don't think about the rules anymore. Just like when you learn to walk, you don't think about each muscle that you're using anymore. You just walk. Right? So I never think about what part of speech I'm using. I never think about things like, oh, is that an inversion or is that is that the past participle? I never, ever, 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 ever think about any grammar rules when I speak English. Not once. Language is like music. Think about it more like music. Make music with your words. That's what you have to do. Okay? Well, Xiaofeng, here's what I will tell you. Yes, the goal, ultimately, eventually, the goal at the end is for you to not think about grammar anymore. That is the way it works. In anything in life, you should spend time learning the rules. Learn the rules, learn the rules, learn the rules. And then you know what you do? I'll tell you what you do with the rules. After you learn the rules, then you do this. You learn the rules so that you don't have to think about them anymore. That's the point. It's like Bruce Lee. Okay, Bruce Lee, Mr. Right? This guy. Right? Mr. Kung Fu, Bruce Lee, right? Do you think when he's in a fight, did he think about, ooh, maybe I should do this kick, or no, maybe I should do this kick, or no, maybe I should spin around and jump? No, he didn't think at all. He practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. That way, when he's in a fight, he doesn't have to think at all. That is what we're trying to do with language. Learn the rules and use the language enough so that you become familiar with it. And then if you become familiar with it, you don't need to think about it. It's natural. It happens like that. Okay? Brindley says, you're right, Professor, but we can't escape the bloody, stupid system. You're right. You can't escape it, but you can... you can understand it for what it is and relegate it to the place it should be. So, you should understand that there are two ways that you should look at language. There is language for the test, and there is language for life. I teach language for life. Okay? So, Brunley, I speak Chinese. My Chinese is not that great, though. If I had to take a test, I probably would not do very well. But if I need to speak to someone in Chinese and I need to tell them how I feel about something, can I do it? Yeah, I can. Pretty well. I can't pass the test, but I can speak it. For example, the TOEFL speaking test, I was supposed to speak a topic in 45 seconds. Right. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. And again, remember, Brunley, if you ask the same thing of any native speaker in America, I would guess at least 50% of them would not do well. Okay? Hello, my friend Gunter. How are you? Guten Tag. But if you want to get an 8 in the IELTS and 110 in the TOEFL, you got to understand all the rules. Yeah, but you know what, Brunley? I don't know if I've ever actually met anyone who got an 8. I don't know if I've ever talked to or met anyone who got an 8. So, yeah. I understand that there are some people who their goals in language have to do with their education, and their education has requirements for them about language. But I'm not interested in their I'm not interested in their system of language learning because, quite frankly, their system doesn't work. If their system worked, then there would be more people who spoke the language and less people who complained about the test. They make those tests deliberately too hard. They make them deliberately too hard. It's not an accurate representation of actual good language usage. If you can get an 8 on the TOEFL exam, then your English is better than mine. And what does that mean? To what end? To what end? Why is that important? Why is that necessary? It's stupid. So, I understand that everybody has these tests, but I just can't be bothered to think about them. I'm not here for a test, I'm here for life. What's the meaning of the word obnubilate and treacherous? Well, treacherous means treachery is like evil planning. If you plan to do something and you're like this, I'm going to get him this time, you're treacherous. That's treachery. Okay, it's like betrayal. It's like planning to do something evil behind someone. You're going to betray them. That's treachery. Okay, but this other word that you mentioned, never heard of that word in my life. I'm not certain that is a word. Oh, it is a word, but no, I've never heard that word in my life. So, rapid, obnubilate, you don't need that word. So forget that word exists. Don't use that word. Don't look up that word. Don't remember that word. Forget that word completely exists. Why? Because I didn't know that word existed until you just asked me about it. And I'm 48 years old and I'm a native speaker of English. So if I have never seen that word in my life, do you need it? No. Treacherous is a good word. Obnubilate? No, that's a stupid word. And I'm quite certain that if I go ask my father, who is a psychologist with a PhD, if I ask him, do you know what the word obnubilate means? He would say, I have no idea. What is that? So if a PhD and an English teacher both don't know that word, then you don't need to either. Okay? See, Gunter says I'd fail a German grammar test, that's for sure. See? Yeah, look, that's what I'm trying to tell you. There's a certain aspect of language learning that's just stupid and not really based in reality, because we put standards on foreigners that we don't put on natives. That's not right. That's weird. That's bizarre. You prepared for the TOEFL in 2 nights and you were thinking your English is excellent and then you got an 80. Well, nobody should prepare for the TOEFL in 2 nights. I tell everybody you need a year to prepare for the TOEFL or the IELTS exam. You need at least a year of proper preparation. Okay? Brunley, your English is fine. Your English is fine. You heard darn tootin' in a movie. Darn tootin'. Darn tootin', Gunter. It's an old slang phrase that we don't use anymore. Darn is just a word that means, well, it's actually a slang word. It means the same thing as damn, right? But it's a nicer way to say damn. Damn was considered kind of a bad word, so people wouldn't say, oh, damn. Instead of saying damn, they would say, oh, darn, okay? And darn was considered to be the nicer form of damn, okay? And then tootin', to toot your own horn. It's an English idiom that means to brag about yourself, because the word toot means to make a sound like a horn, like toot, 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 toot. So the sound toot. So when you say darn tootin', it means that's right. I agree. Okay, but that's an old way of speaking. We don't say that anymore. That's like from an old Western movie. If you watch an old Western movie with the guys with the guns, darn tootin' means yes, that's right, I agree. But again, that's old language. It's not common language. You know, now I'm very curious about this word. First recorded in 1575 and 85 from the Latin obnubilatus, obnubilare, to darken, to obscure, to cloud over or obscure something. Let me see something here. Oh, what just happened? What just happened? Sorry, everyone. Wait a minute. Sorry about that, everybody. I don't know what happened. I'm not sure why my camera I lost my connection. But I'm back now. Let's see. What did I miss? Hel- Hello, Even. Hello, Eudislin. Buenos dias. Name my 5 favorite films of all time. Wow, that's hard, man. What kind of movies do you like, Brunley? Tell me what kind of movies you like, and maybe I'll give you the name of something interesting you can check out. How many vocabulary words should you learn if you want to talk about daily life with someone? Neo, I think to talk about daily life in English, you probably need about 2 or 3 thousand words. If you have 4,000, you should be pretty good. Okay? I think almost any language, if you can achieve about 2,000 words in any language, then you can express basic feelings about many things. Okay? Maybe your grammar might not be great, but if you have 2,000 words in any language, you can express yourself actually pretty well for basic life. Oh, Sheldon's mom said darn tootin'. Yeah, Sheldon's mom is from the South, right? From Texas. And so it's like a Texas cowboy thing to talk like that. Darn tootin'. Right, Brunley. 2,000 is kind of my that's where I say if you hit 2,000 in any language, then you can say some things. Maybe not perfectly, but you can say some things. Drama, crime, and mystery. Uh, okay. Uh, Tell me one drama film you like, one crime film you like, and one mystery film you like. Then I'll tell you something else you'll like. Okay? I promise I'll give you something good. Just give me a little bit more, and then I'll tell you something. So tell me one drama you like, one crime movie you like, and one mystery movie you like. Then I'll give you something to check out. Uh, do I think learning idiomatic expressions should be a priority to be fluent? Mesikarem, I think that idioms are pretty important in English, especially American English. We do use a lot of idioms pretty often. So I do think you do need to know some if you really want to express yourself well. Okay, so I would suggest it. How many do you need? That's not a question I've ever thought about before. How many idioms do you really need to know? Wow, that's kind of hard. Let me think about that a little bit more. I think I want to think about that question today, and maybe I'll see if I can come up with an actual answer of how many idioms do I think you really need to know to complement that 2,000 word vocabulary. So maybe 2,000 words of vocabulary and 50 idioms. If you had about that many, I think you'd be able to do pretty well. Okay? 16 below zero. Wow, stay warm, man. Oh, Brunley wants to know how many words do natives usually know? Well, that's a good question. There are approximately 1 million words in the English language. Native speakers, how many words do native speakers know? That varies kind of greatly. On the low side, I would say 25,000 probably. On the high side, I would probably say 50,000. Maybe more if you're a really, really academic person, a professor of some kind, right? So I would say somewhere in that range of, the really, really most well spoken people in America, the most well spoken natives probably know, I would guess, upward of 40,000 words. But let me do a Google search just to see if I'm in the right ballpark. Yeah, so this says most adult test takers have a vocabulary range of 20,000 to 35,000 words. That sounds a little low to me. So that's an average, right? An average. So that's why I'm trying to say that as an average of 20 to 30,000, then I would say that that means that if you're an academic, right? If you're a professor, if you have, a master's degree or a PhD, I would say you probably have upwards of 30 to 40,000 words in your vocabulary, and then beyond that would be the most, you know, yeah. I would probably say that's probably more of a rational number. Okay. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. Oh wow, it's always already almost been 2 hours. Schindler's List, No Country for Old Men, Shutter Island. Okay, so the mystery one, it's not really a mystery, but if you haven't seen The Shining, do you know The Shining? It's more of a horror movie, kind of a suspense horror mystery movie. But The Shining with Jack Nicholson, classic, 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 great American film. Yep, Jack. Okay. Let's see. What were your other ones that you listed? For crime, No Country for Old Men. Um, oh, what was the name of that movie? That movie was really messed up. What was that called? Oh, did you see Natural Born Killers? Or what's the other one? Oh, um, this one. American Psycho. American Psycho and Natural Born Killers are probably two that I would say if you liked No Country for Old Men, you'd probably like those. Shawshank, that's another classic one. Yeah, Shawshank. And then you also mentioned Schindler's List for dramas. Wow. Okay, so historical dramas. Oh, let's see. Oh, I know one. Okay, if you've seen Schindler's List and you consider that to be an important drama to watch, then I would say you probably haven't seen The Killing Fields. The Killing Fields. Have you seen that one? It's about Cambodia. It's an older movie about Cambodia and what happened there. Okay. Gunter says everyone has an active and a passive vocabulary. That's true, right. There are certain words that I know that I don't know that I know. Like there's some words that I can't think of. Like I can't think of that word off the top of my head, but if I see it in a dictionary, I know it. right? So there are active words that are active in my mind, and there are passive words that I'm aware of, but that I don't actively remember or think about. Yeah. To be honest, what makes English a difficult language to learn is because there are too many words. Yeah, so Brunley, that's why I tell everybody you really need a system to learn English words. But there are a few good systems. Etymology is a great system, Brunley, because if you learn about etymology, then the first thing you learn is that 60% of English words come from Latin or Greek. So if you learn a little bit of Latin or Greek root words, then you can increase your English vocabulary really quickly. Okay? Does English level depend on vocabulary? To some degree, a little bit, yes, but not entirely, no. Fargo. Fargo's good. It's just really dark. But yeah, that's a good crime movie too. Sure. In English, there are letters in the word which are not supposed to be read. Is there a rule for that? No. Mescarem, there are no rules for that. But if you learn about the etymology, then it will teach you about that. So, for example, I love to teach people about the word though. Though, right? Why do we pronounce the word though? Though, with all those silent letters on there, right? The reason why we pronounce the word though with all those silent letters is because we changed the pronunciation. A long time ago, that word was actually pronounced though. Though. More like that, okay? But that sound, we don't have that in English anymore. We got rid of that sound. So the spelling stays the same. Though. That GH sound was supposed to do that sound. Okay? So that explains why that one is spelled that way, but is pronounced differently, right? If you learn about where the word comes from, then you can usually figure out why the spelling is that way and why the pronunciation is that way. Not always, but sometimes. The name of that movie, please. The Killing Fields. Is that the one you're talking about? I was mentioning The Killing Fields. Don't forget to join my YouTube. My YouTube is live right now. And there's no time limit on my YouTube. Yeah, I guess Belen is not back yet. I guess not, yeah. Don't forget to join my YouTube channel. I'm on YouTube now. Every time I'm on Hello Talk, I'm on YouTube. So if you watch my YouTube channel, then there's no time limit, okay? My YouTube channel, if you search for AFIEC. Search for AFIEC and you'll find it. All right, so listen, everybody. It has been exactly 2 hours, 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 29 seconds. So I'm going to take a break and go get some lunch. Make sure you follow me. Okay, make sure you follow me. And I'm doing live streams on Hello Talk and on YouTube Monday through Friday around 9:30, 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Okay? So follow me. I have about 60,000 followers on Hello Talk, and I have about 1,000 followers on YouTube. But I'm really trying to build my YouTube now. My focus is on YouTube now. So please, please, please join my YouTube and follow on YouTube and share on YouTube. Please, come on. I need help from you. I'm helping you. Now you have to help me. Share, please. Okay, thank you, Giuseppe. Thank you, everybody, for watching and following. I appreciate it very much. I will be back tomorrow So have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. It's only a day away. Bye-bye, everyone. The YouTube link, search for AFIEC. AFIEC. It means a friend in every corner. A friend in every corner. Search for that and you'll find me. Okay? All right, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.